Today I'm going to demonstrate Judy's Magic Cast-On, and this is a favorite cast-on for toe-up socks, especially using a circular needle for magic loop. So first of all, you're going to get your yarn ready, and I suggest putting your working yarn on the table farthest away from you. So this is my ball of yarn here, and then getting about a 12-inch tail is usually adequate for cast on for toe-up socks. Bringing that out, and that's just laid down, ready to go. Then grabbing your circular needle, and with both the points pointing to the left, hold them in your right hand. Then grab your yarn and loop it over top of the needle that is the top needle, or the one that's farthest away from you, however you hold them. So that is your first stitch, and you're going to hold that with your finger just to keep it in place. Next, you're going to pinch your index finger and your thumb on your left hand and poke it through the two yarns that are hanging off the needle. Then grab underneath both the yarns with your other fingers. So you sort of have a triangular shape. It's a little bit like a long tail cast on. So next what you're going to do is you want to have to cast on a stitch on the bottom needle, or the needle that's closest to you. So what you're going to do is you're basically going back and forth between these two yarns and the needles. It's the opposite yarn on the opposite needle. So the yarn that's on the finger, you're going to bring around the bottom, the needle, and slide it in between the two needles. Then the thumb is going to come up and it's going to go in between the two needles and over the top needle. Then the one that's on the finger around the bottom needle. The one that's on the thumb between and over top the the top needle. Then the one around the finger comes around underneath the bottom needle. Then the one that's on the thumb comes around the top needle. And you keep doing that until you have the number of stitches you would like. For socks, you would want the same number on the top and bottom. So next is the top and then the bottom. So we have 2, 4, 6, 2, 4, 6. Then you're going to just let go of the yarns, holding them in place with your finger or thumb, whatever is more comfortable for you. Then rotate the needle tips so that they're pointing to the right. Now this last stitch is a little bit loose. What I find helpful is to bring the tail of the yarn and sort of cross it over top of the working yarn and bring it down. That's going to be the first stitch that we're going to work. So you pull the needle that's on the bottom out so that you have your loops, enough room to work, and get your yarn ready and stitch that first stitch. And then stitch the second and just work across the first needle. Great. Now you're ready to turn your work. And at this point I like to flip these around. And we have to work this needle in to the stitches that we're going to work and pull this needle out. Get our yarn ready, however you hold it, and stitch across this needle. So at the end of this, now you are ready to continue on with your project, your socks, and using the magic loop.